Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to let you know this is going to be a rant, probably a lengthy rant. This is what's been going on for the last 5 years concerning HFT insiders. Did a story about this company called ITG who got busted by the SEC and got fined on a story. I'm going to show you the actual response from one of the employees there. Now, this led where they got busted by, and I use the word friggin' cheaters, and I said ITG, and I said Netherlands. I'm going to address that in a second. But the company ITG got busted on a dark pool, running afoul, and they got fined $20 million. Okay, here's the story on Bloomberg. Okay, now first, number one, I got this company confused, ITG, with another company called IMC out of the Netherlands. So apologies there, I own that, that's my mistake. But this company is out of New York, ITG. Not going to go into about the company, but they seem to be trying to be transparent and whatnot. But they're one of the lines in the responses kind of got to me, and really every time I hear something on Bloomberg or another news source on the attitude of these insiders in the banks, it really blows my mind. Anyway, so here's the response. To correct you, ITG is headquartered in NYC, not Netherlands. We got that, my mistake. Plus, he says he's disappointed, and he doesn't like the term friggin' cheaters. Perhaps if you read more what ITG does as a business by making comments, while I understand your writing style, I've been reading for years, thank you. It's unfortunate you choose to dramatize it this way. But here's the line that really got to me. Now remember, this is a guy who works in this firm. I don't believe this will be the last SEC settlement, true enough, in the industry, nor will ITG's settlement remain the largest for long. Okay, let's address that. This really kind of like burns my ass, because any person that says, I don't believe this will be the last SEC settlement, why do you think the SEC was set up? To make sure that people playing in the markets are playing above board. But to sit there and have this arrogant attitude about, well, it's okay, we'll allow these settlements and SEC to step in when one company or another company runs afoul. Let's ask yourself this question. Why does the public opinion say that the banking industry is probably one of the most hated industries in the States and probably in the world? And especially like hedge fund managers, because of that kind of insider arrogance that comes out of that boggles my mind. You're right, maybe this might not be one of the larger fines, but I'm a little guy, I'm just a retail trader kind of guy, and guys like me, among thousands, will get cheated all the time by companies like this. I'm not saying that ITG is part of that, but if they got fined for something, because why? They did something wrong in the eyes of the SEC. So what does that make you? Okay, maybe not a friggin' cheater, but you're a cheater. You broke the law in the eyes of the SEC, the regulators in the States. So to come back with this kind of statement, that's a lot of arrogance. To say it's okay to do things where you hope you may not get caught, which happens all the time. I see it all the time. Brokers are ripping off retail traders and blah, blah, blah. I can go on about that. As for HFT, the one that really gets to me is if you have an order book, larger player comes along with a bigger account, they get put at the front of the line, so their order goes through higher priority. This pay-to-play nonsense at the CME and other places, other exchanges, got to stop. It's just not right. On the other hand, the spoofing where these, I'm not saying again, that, I'll just say HFT firms, the bad ones, will go out, put an order out, a large order that will affect other retail traders that are putting in orders, and then try to there's the spoofing on top of that where they put in a large order and then they just cancel it. And then there's also the traditional, we know about the flash crash guy, if he's the guy or not, but just to put an order in, a fake order, another fake order, just to drive up price. You can do that with HFT. HFT is a good technology. HFT is like a tool. I always compare it to a gun. Guns are good. They help people eat. They help people defend themselves. That's where guns are good. guns are bad when they're misused, where some guy with a power trip saying, I am more powerful than this guy, and we're going to cheat them, we're going to rob them, and we're going to put them at the bottom because we can, and that attitude, that's arrogance. And again, that's why the banking industry, the hedge fund industry is most hated, because a dude who's working as a fireman or a lady or whoever working as a teacher, and they save and retire, they put money into a pension fund. The pension fund puts money into these kind of organizations, and these people don't understand that they are indirectly feeding the beast that's cheating them. It's not cool, but that's another story. Then we get private equity and all these people that are cheating. It's wrong, man. I mean, I work with people that are like way above board, like Dr. Ernie Chan's amazing. He's an honest guy. He's probably the most honest guy I've met. And there's a bunch of people like that. But HFT is not bad. It's not an evil. It's just people use it to make it make it sound evil. Like cars take you from point A to point B. But on the other hand, there's always going to be one player that will run somebody down. But to be comfortable with this statement saying, I don't believe this will be the last SEC settlement, I wouldn't want to be comfortable with that, especially working on the inside, because that tells me it's okay. If I don't support cheating, but I'm going to turn a blind eye and let it happen and rob the next guy. Maybe that person that you're robbing could be your neighbor. Maybe that could be your neighbors or somebody their kid and not getting a job because of it. Who knows? But it impacts a lot of people, and it's not right. And if I had a way to make it stop, I would. But I'm just, again, a little guy. But if people out there really stood up against it and really understood what's going on, we'd be all cool. But this is not a cool statement from my eyes. And to be disappointed in what way? Disappointed because I've said something that acknowledges. Are you disappointed in this statement, or are you disappointed in this paragraph? When you get busted for something by a regulator, that's something I would not be comfortable with. I'd be actually ashamed of it. And to be on the other hand, when you're being busted for $20 million, I probably in my lifetime will never have $20 million. But let alone to be okay with it, I don't even know where to start on that one. Let me show you some other traders or other insiders. We got a guy, this guy, Eric Scott Hunsen, I don't know his last name, runs NX Core, Nanix, which I believe developed NX Core. This guy boggles my mind as well, and I only say that because NX Core is delivering streaming data, market data, to Telvent DTN, which is of course our fave, IQ feed. So this guy's trying to come off as he's trying to play against the HFT bad operators, but yet on the other hand, being a hypocrite that he obviously is, he's providing the data or living off the data or maintaining a ticker plan for NX Core, which is indirectly part of the Telvent DTN. That's not cool. But look what he's done. On Twitter, under here, he decides to block me. I've never had contact with this guy, I never talked to him or anything, but whatever. These are the kind of nut bars we deal with. And of course, we get Anton Krell, who's personally attacked me as well, but I've moved on from that. But I'm just showing you some of the egomaniacs that come from these banks. It just boggles my mind that some of the arrogance that these guys get themselves to a point, and then they can work in Singapore in a corner office in bare feet. Whatever, that's their story, and they're probably good at it. But the arrogance that is part of the lay of the land of this industry boggles my mind, and upon every big bank getting busted, and it's okay. It's not okay. I always say God works in mysterious ways, and karma at some point will bite you in the ass somewhere along the line if you're cheating people generally. But I'm just putting this message out there to anybody who thinks that making these kind of statements, and I hear this time and time again. I'm not going to reveal who this person is. That's not the point. But to make statements like that, and I hear it all the time and think it's okay, it's not okay. And I like to play above board like the rest of the retail traders out there that are trying to make us a livelihood out of this. We might not be ever become multi-millionaires, even billionaires, but you know, the passion's there. We do what we do, but it's not okay to have SEC settlement. It's not okay to accept it, and it's not okay to think you can do things in the world and think you may not get busted, because somewhere along the line you may. And I don't know what to say, but it's just, I don't know. Don't be final. Don't think that you're judge and jury on this, because you ain't. And I still do what I do. I got 7,000 people in my community. We got students. We got job seekers. We got well-off, high net worth individuals. We got highly technical people, and of course, we got people from within the industry. But this is a message. It's not okay to think that you'll be busted. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Comment below in the YouTube video or whatever. I like having these kind of dialogues. Hey, if I'm wrong on something, you let me know, and I'll definitely acknowledge it. Where this one, ITG in the Netherlands bit, yeah, I make a mistake, and I make lots of mistakes, but I try to own up to them. All right, over now. Talk to you later.